one.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Holly, and welcome back to Chronicle. This is the home where a bunch of my favourite people and I will get together, tell some awesome stories, and hopefully take you guys along for the ride with us. In today's episode, we're actually not going to be returning to the world of Cthulhu, but we are still playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We're going to be doing a one-shot today in the steampunk world, still set in Cthulhu, but it's a different city and a different continent. So, you know, we're not returning to our campaign, but it is still the same world. Today we have a very special guest with us. Mark, hopefully going to be joining us for Lockie's campaign. Maybe mine in the future. We'll see if he likes D&D. If you guys do want to catch up while we are taking a break from our main campaign for this week, we will be returning next week. And you can do so by checking down the link in the descriptions below to see the YouTube channel where we have all of our archived videos. And you can catch up on it there. We'd very much appreciate it. Anybody else have anything they want to say? No? I think we covered it all. I should also say I am losing my voice. I've been at work all day, so if my voice breaks, I'm going through puberty. Please point it out. Okay. Let's get into it. No, actually I'm losing it. It's a little bit bad, so hopefully, my voice isn't that grating. As sure as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, the world spider weaves its web. Thin threads of wispy iridescent opal and brilliant gold interlock, stretching across the boundless chasm and drawing together the quilt of Cthulhu, with its anchors lodged in each of its continents, and its spindly legs hooked into each and every one of its denizens. If even the smallest of stones are skipped across the smooth glass-like surface of the spider's web, an irreversible and lasting imprint is left stamped forever in the unending ripples it leaves behind. No ripples are quite as prominent as those felt nestled below this divine arcane nexus, in the bustling technology-driven capital of the Cardinal Triad, Loftus. Known for its innovation, the city thrives upon the combination of technology and magic that underpins its society, making advancements that are far beyond that of its neighbouring cities. Though Loftus may appear as a well-oiled and collaborative machine, beneath its pristine facade rumble the beginnings of revolution. As the trauma of a destabilized and steadily disintegrating monarchy lances throughout the Cardinal Triad, its ruling class finds themselves at war with not only one another for a chance at resting the crown upon their brow, but the downtrodden and disenfranchised cogs in its machine. Catalyzed by the death of its king, the upper and lower houses of the Triad forged new alliances and broke the bonds of storied pasts, all in the hopes of securing their position within Cthulhu's most opulent and immemorial society. But nothing is more important to them than upholding appearances. As some of the most renowned purveyors, collectors, and researchers of the finest arcane artifacts, you have all been cordially invited by a prospective client to attend the largest and most respected artifact auction in Cthulhu, the Parade. Run by the current reigning upper and lower houses of Loftus, the Parade draws in the wealthy, powerful, and intellectually gifted individuals from all corners of the realm, and entices them to hawk their wares and throw their gold at the innovative creations that catch their eye. One artifact in particular appears to have caught the eye of not only your client, but all of Cthulhu's elite, the Bloodstone. Whilst not much is known of its origins, other than it being crafted from materials pulled from the sea of shrapnel, it's reported to possess immense arcane power that it can gift its owner with, and you, my dear friends, have been asked to steal it. And our story begins as you are coasting along on the top of what appears to be the deck of a boat. However, on either side, if you were to look down past the railings, you would see below you a sprawling city and the sound of rushing wind through your sails. Below you, the capital city of Loftus sprawls across two toruses, so they're broken into halves. Each arc passes and is connected by a large bridge suspended in between, kind of bridging the gap between two sides of the city. On the outskirts of the torus itself, you can see that there is a large waterfall that tumbles down, encompassing the entire the outside of the city itself. Below the center of the torus, you can see that the waterfall on the outside tumbles down into a smaller, almost, when you're very high up, with your bird's eye view at the moment, the city below, directly under Loftus, appears tiny, almost like it's a toy of some sort. You can see that there is faint movement, and you can see that the chimneys still chug along, the smoke billowing up into the sky. However, you're so high up that you can't make out the actual shower that is just this deluge of water that falls onto the city below. The bridges themselves are populated with people rushing to and fro from either side. Both sides appear relatively similar in wealth distribution. However, you can see that there appears to be more smoke rising from the torus on the right-hand side. Within the bounds of the city, you can see that the sea that surrounds the torus and falls gently down onto the city below appears to have great large wheels, almost like water mills and water wheels that churn the water into whitewater rapids as it falls across the side. As you all know, these appear to power the city, in conjunction with the large windmills that are currently spread out in kind of hovering spires that kind of float just above the city. Some in the gaps of the torus, the actual hole itself, while some actually hover above the city. Hundreds of cables run across the sky in between buildings as a series of rickety cable cars traffic people from one side to another, from one building to the next. There are, however, as you go higher up in the kind of towering skyscrapers that are almost overhanging other parts of the city in narrow walkways, there are some carriages that are ornate and gilded in gold and silver, and they are open-topped, so you can actually see the people inside below. Some of them, as they see your airship go past, mostly little kids kind of stare up in awe and they wave at this massive airship with its massive sails that pass by. The buildings themselves are mostly brownstones. You can see that some of them are more intricate than others. Most of them, however, appear to fit the same facade, so nothing is necessarily out of place, but everything seems to have the same kind of gears and technology that's interspersed within the actual brownstone structure itself. There are several spires and clusters of buildings that seem to hover with these large kind of windmills powering them just above the city, kind of interspersed throughout. You guys are heading towards the center of it all. Right above the torus there is a large, bigger than any other kind of island of buildings. It stands, I would say, probably 450 feet across. It's not an exact circle, but it's near enough. And on top of it is only one building. It's the largest building in Loftus, and it definitely seems to be the most intricate. It almost appears alive as gears kind of shift and click into place, and the facade changes as different walls are resurrected from the side and others are collapsed. It stretches and expands, and the windmills that power and hover this actual island are still churning away. You can see there are people actually tending to these ones, whilst others appear to be in charge of restructuring the actual building itself. There's a large dock that stands to one side and you can see that there are airships that are kind of coming and going, dropping people off what appears to be a rather bustling island in the center of Loftus. You guys are heading there to meet with your contact. The name given to you is Maurice. No last name given, and just asks you to meet him on the west side of the dock at your nearest convenience. What would you guys like to do? You're currently travelling on the top of an airship.
Are we well acquainted with one another?
Yes. Actually, what we should do is we should go around and introduce characters. Lockie, would you like to start?
Alright. So this bulking warforged, just like really wide, really big, kind of would be considered really buff if it was flesh. In like a fine 3-piece suit
Fresh.
with this giant greatsword with like gilded golden hilt and stuff, just on his back.
Okay, Xander?
We're on an airship, yes?
Yes, you are on an airship.
With the rolling of the deck, this black spooge of ick sort of rolls backwards and forwards, sort of sticking slightly to the deck as though it were one of those like little slappy hands. You know how they like peel off very slowly?
Oh, the toy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that you throw at a wall and it sticks. Okay.
Rolling backwards and forwards in a feat.
James, would you like to introduce your character?
You can occasionally in your peripheral vision you can see this figure, and it'll disappear when someone walks past. You know they'll be gone. They're a bird. What's the race?
Thank you.
That one. They fit the stereotype of a thief perfectly. They're small. They've got a cloak, a really long beak, and they're very sneaky and quiet. And that's Borg. Borg the thief, ready to steal some shit.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Mark, would you like to introduce your character?
I don't think my character really fits the stereotype of a thief. He's
Okay.
but similar to Jim. Bird. What's the race of mine?
Aarakocra.
Yes.
Oh,
I
we've
just know
got
that
birds.
he's a bird person, and he's a paladin. He goes by the name of Milo. But yeah, big fella. He's carrying a big warhammer, long sword. And yeah, stealth is not his game.
Nice.
Little arms and legs sprout from the black ooze, about like slightly taller than toddler sized, as this sort of stout little black spludge walks towards you. How fucking I don't like swearing. How heckin' long is this going to take?
What's
This
your character's name again, Xander?
ship has been travelling for miles, it feels, said Tim Curry.
No.
We're almost there now, Tim. We're getting close.
Maurice?
West of the dock.
It is Maurice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got no business. I reckon we just travel straight there.
Agreed.
Do you have any business on the dock?
No.
Do you speak?
I've forgotten my accent.
Do you speak?
Said Tim Curry to his long friend that he suddenly forgot.
Or
What was the accent I was using? Was it Brit?
It was a bit.
It's Cockney.
In it.
Yeah,
In it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gonna shank you in it.
Oh no.
Keep going.
I'm gonna meet Maurice. I'm gonna steal his watch.
Steal his watch.
Watch.
I hear he's got a watch.
When he hit his tombstone.
What, is it flat? I turned it on, I promise!
It was on before. I saw the thing going.
Yeah, we were doing like beeps and bops.
James.
I must have.
Professional.
We
I'm.
have to do. Oh, hang on. It's not
Try and put it up top somewhere as well.
It's
Rather than in your pocket.
my signature move is forgetting to turn my microphone back on after the break.
That's your toxic trait.
if you move closer to the DM screen, you can hook it onto that.
Yes, I'll shove it over here.
Now there's 3 of them just
Well, I
kind
have,
of.
yeah, 3 DM screens. to
This is
try-
a
there we go.
Professional
Now it's all
stream.
held together. Okay, so as you guys are traveling along on the top of this ship, you can see either side that ribbons of fluffy white clouds kind of pass you by as you glide along towards this bustling dock filled with what appear to be very dapperly dressed individuals. They're all wearing suits, no matter the gender. Some of them are in brighter colours than others. Some have kind of garish patterns. You can see like almost a fluorescent yellow on one of them, just with like the deepest, darkest black is like a checkerboard pattern. They all seem very well put together, very kind of polished, a well-oiled machine, save for the fact that there is one individual that seems incredibly run down, kind of frizzy white hair, missing a couple of teeth. You can see as you go past the side of the dock, kind of attempting to anchor your ship there. The sails themselves kind of flutter back up. This individual is kind of standing with what appear to be metal containers of sorts that are all stacked high and kind of pass above their head. Just move that slightly. Kind of pass above their head and kind of ting ting as some of them drop to the floor, kind of roll along the actual wooden dock itself that juts outwards. They already had a crisis. That seems unsafe.
You may. I give consent. That is my glass.
I'm scared about
Doesn't it seem like a bad idea to put something electrical on the side of something that has just contained water?
It's fine.
Does that not seem
Fine.
concerning to anyone else?
the pressure of the clip.
Yeah.
But hey, what do I know? You know, does it
It is a glass that I don't particularly want, so if it breaks, that's a bonus.
I wasn't worried about it breaking. I was worried about it killing
Oh, well.
James. But
Oh,
that's
not
okay.
a problem.
I'll be fine. It's only what 3 volts.
Yeah.
So
James can take 3 volts.
It's the jolts that volt.
It's
Wait,
like a cat.
The volts that jolts the bills that kill.
The
I love the
amps.
justification. Anyway, anyway, you guys watch as these dapperly dressed individuals, one of them is wearing kind of this silk doublet, these black pants with a golden stripe that runs along the side, boots shone to perfection, a tie kind of done up all the way. There's no slacking here. There's a tie clip put in place. Appears to be a ram's head and cufflinks that are done up very, very well. Begins to gesture to some of the not necessarily sloppily dressed individuals, but there are some that, let's say, are not as well put together as others, with their ties loosened, buttons undone. One of them isn't even wearing a shirt at the moment, but appears to still have the dress slacks on and the perfectly shone brown shoes. And they all kind of throw the ropes over, kind of pull them into place. You can hear the sound of like calloused hands tugging and anchoring your ship to the massive, what are they called? Are they bollards or what's like the
thing that
the
you tie the string to.
belayers? Is it a belayer pin? I don't know. I'm having a
Is
crisis
it a
today.
ballast?
No, it's not ballast.
Wooden
What
stake.
about ballast?
Wooden
It's the thing
stake.
that you wrap the-
I'm sure it's a belayer pin.
The one that they do the fancy rope trick
With
where
it,
they,
yeah, with it doing
flick
like
it?
a belaying pin.
Lane.
That's for rigging on a boat. Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
those
know what you
massive, those,
a mooring
those
point.
yes, the part where you anchor the rope to. Anyway, they all kind of, eventually, it takes about 10 minutes. There are people on either side, kind of strapping down this ship, essentially. And you notice that the sails themselves, whilst they are currently not unfurled, so they've actually been put back up. The magic that thrums through the air and kind of is enchanted. So, if you guys remember from the actual world itself, there's a material called slaint, which is which has absorbing properties, and that's what the enchantment is implied to. And you can see that there are a lot of
Did we come across Slaint in the room where we painted the symbols onto the big like sundial thing? To
No,
sound-
that's Masan. So
Okay.
Slaint is what's actually made for Arkanoids in the horror box core.
Yeah.
And you can see that there are lots of kind of pockets of this ore that are kind of interspersed throughout the hull of the ship, and this kind of faint of magic kind of just radiates throughout the actual area itself. Do we have crisis?
No, not at all. Just checking. Keep going.
Just a random thumbs up. We love to see it. Very Pip Boy of you. You can see that these pockets in the hull are still kind of pulsing with this magic. The actual ship itself, now that it's been tied down, seems to kind of drift from side to side with this magic that's still causing it to levitate. You can see now below this dock itself, there's almost what appears to be a net of just the kind of thickest, heaviest chains that are kind of tied to the actual bottom of this island that's just floating above the city itself. You assume in order to catch any ship or maybe individual that might fall from a ship. However, I'll get anybody who'd like to roll a perception check for me to roll a perception check. 1, 2 people, whoever would like to roll one, please do roll.
What's a perception check?
A perception check is basically a check
Right.
that you make. So you roll a dice to see how much you see in a vicinity or how much you can hear in a vicinity. So essentially what you can perceive. Longland, what did you get?
Crit fail.
Oh, I love that. You see nothing.
3.
You are so distracted at the sight of this bird that's just like circling around the top of this of this medieval ship, or like a Spanish galleon turned into an airship. Its wings almost like a kind of like in Treasure Planet. You guys remember from the sci-fi one shot? There's like these wings that kind of beat in time to actually propel the ship forward. They kind of flutter gently and actually mimic the bird above, and you think it's so fascinating and so exciting and just so mesmerizing that you're so distracted you stare into the sun for a moment and you feel it burn your retinas and you go, oh, stings. And you unfortunately can't see anything except the impression of the sun on your retinas for the next, I don't know, like 30 seconds, minute. How long does it last when you look into the sun?
2
I don't do it
hours.
often. 2 hours.
Playing
You
with
burn your you
Oh, yeah.
burn your retinas for the foreseeable future. I'm
Excellent.
sorry, you're blind now. Anybody else want to make a check? Mark?
Check.
You make it? Yeah.
So do I roll a die?
Yeah,
So
please do.
D20?
It's-
Add
20?
your
20-sided dice.
20-sided dice. Okay, so then
yes.
So most rolls are done with your D20. So that, and then you add whatever the perception skill.
so he's 20 like
that's
great perception.
really good.
So
and then
low,
One is
bad.
what Lockie got.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay,
low,
right.
bad, high, good.
let's go. Let's do it. Oh shit.
Oi, 20. Dirty
19.
20. Or you
Dirty
add your
20.
1.
Love
I'm
that.
120.
I got a 19 as well.
I am like.
I
on
got an
fire.
8.
Bird.
Oh wait, you can roll them. Oh no, it's fun.
Oh,
to use.
don't.
No,
Use the...
it's fun to use the die.
Bulb, hearing the scream of, let me see your character.
Amadeo.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Amadeo. Is that right? Amadeo. Okay. I wrote it down and then I was like, well, that doesn't seem right. It looked like armadillo. Um, so distracted by the sound of the scream from the burning retinas, you look over and you feel something thunk against the back of your head as you turn a bit too quickly, and the mast that's above you smacks you in the back of the head. Just lightly, just a love tap from the mast above. With you guys getting a 19 and a 20, was that correct? You notice that there's actually a couple of individuals that are still clinging to these thick, heavy chains below the actual island itself, kind of waving up desperately. And you can see that there are still some figures that are kind of pointing down at them. They seem like classic 13-year-olds who are just trying to make trouble and kind of laughing at the kids down below. And the unfortunate dock workers who have fallen and are trying to scrabble into place and like hold on for dear life, as these chains kind of gently sway with the actual force of the still beating wings of the airships above. Eventually you can see that there is a kind of flimsy rope ladder that's being lowered down to them. Not down to them quite yet, it's about 200 feet down. So this ladder is just gently kind of getting unrolled. They're kind of...
Press the survive to 200-foot drop.
It's a magic net.
Okay.
It's not net. It's not like a... You know, it's... I'm not going to be that mean and kill people just for falling onto... Well...
Chains.
If they slip through the gaps, that's on them. It has to be enough to kind of catch a ship. So 200 feet, we'll say, is fine. But yeah, you can see that this ladder will eventually get to them, but it's going to be a while. So they're still kind of clinging on, looking just traumatized and having fallen down. Though you think, based on the actual length of the rope ladder itself, must have happened enough for them to commission something like this that would be sturdy enough to bring people back up to the top. What would you guys like to do? You're now safely docked your ship. Having seen people below, you can still see that figure that people are kind of taking a wide berth around, kind of avoiding.
Can I search for anyone that's particularly wealthy looking?
Sure. Roll an investigation check for me, please.
May I do an assist action just by adding a
Sure.
pair of
How
eyes
do
to this
you
equation?
assist?
By adding a pair of eyes to the equation.
Give me something. What are you looking for? Like, what strikes you as wealthy?
Okay, I want to look for...
Not made of slime.
Well, so...
I
my
forgot,
blob-
like, as soon as you walk, it's going to be like...
My blob grows legs, but not arms.
Oh, God.
Plods over and up, Borb.
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 I'm looking
Um,
Borb.
It's fucking Borb, man, isn't it?
It is fucking
It
Borb.
I'm gonna look for signet rings.
Okay. Oh, I love a signet ring. Okay.
I'm gonna look for notations of house.
Well,
Go for
my
it.
first roll was a 9 because Xander is help. Oh, sorry, because
Tim
Tim Curry
God.
is helping. I can
Tim-
roll 2
Tim Curry helps us
and take
all.
the bigger. So this is a 22.
Thank you, Tim Curry.
Hmm.
I have a
looking
signet
for-
ring. Yeah.
Looking for rich people.
You spot my signet ring.
We'll see how it goes.
So 22 is the
Oh.
higher of the two.
So at first you do, in fact, spot Amadeo's signet ring and think, oh, I could steal that. I could steal that in it. However, as you're kind of casing the joint, looking for anybody that looks particularly wealthy, you find that most of the people here are incredibly wealthy. They're all dressed in silks, satins. You can see one of them is dressed in like a crushed velvet with these kind of heavy, dark tinted glasses that are kind of pushed further up their nose. Everything on them is kind of gilded in gold, including what appears to be the soles of their shoes. You can see just the lip of the sole of its shoe itself is just what appears to be pressed gold leaf, kind of coating it on the side. The buckles themselves appear to be gold as well. Even the dock workers that you had seen before appear to be decked out in several different wealthy looking suits.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Burb?
Oh,
I'm
you
not Cockney.
You fucking know it, bruv.
is Tim Curry Cockney?
No.
I
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
We're gonna fucking steal.
oh my god,
What?
Tim Curry is English.
Oh, never mind. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'll walk up.
Tim Curry.
Can I put my arm? Can I put a hand, like a big hand, on both of them? I know what you're both thinking. You're both thinking you're both underdressed.
I literally cannot wear clothes. That's
Very underdressed then.
No.
Wait, This shit's designer, yeah?
Not quite like straighten a tie. I'm like,
I'm trying to deceive. I'm absolutely
Okay, roll
lying.
a deception check.
This is not true.
what's like the Canada deception? Insight?
22. It's
Insight.
insight, yeah.
Okay, so I could beat that with a nat 20.
So you're trying to lie.
I'm lying to him.
Crit fail again. 2 crit fails. Ah, where's your tie then?
This shit don't need a tie.
They're all wearing ties.
Oh, they're not wearing designer, yeah?
I'm like looking at it. I'm like, fair.
Sounds convincing.
You watch as this small kind of hunched over gnomish man with a cane that's just pure 14 karat gold walks past in a blue and gold paisley suit, done up to the nines. It looks silk, walks past, kind of gives you all a look, raises the nose.
He
Moves
looks right
past.
for the picking.
Just nod.
Does it look like he's got anything snatchable? Like deep pockets that I could reach into? Or...
The waist is snatchable.
Can I throw him over to the net and just take his stick?
You want to take the cane?
I feel like that'd be very difficult. Is he using it to walk,
no,
or is
no,
it just a...
He is he's just holding.
Let's try not to attract any attention to it.
He's just holding the cane.
Well, I was gonna take the cane. I was just gonna hold the cane and then throw him.
Wait, no, this is a good question though. Is he like, is he,
He's using it to walk. It's a walking. It's a walking.
How are
is
we gonna steal it without him
is his
noticing?
gait,
That's.
is his gait troubled? Like, does it look like
Yes,
he's
I
relying
said he
on the
was
cane?
hunched over. He's just an older man.
Easy target then.
He looks like a frail older gentleman, but dressed to the nines, seems very snobbish, but he is in fact using the walking cane as it is intended to be a walking cane,
Is
to rest his weight on it.
Intimidating.
is
He's
there
got a
anyone
limp.
else? Is there anyone else?
Plus 5.
James, go.
Is there anyone else? Oh, do I see anything else that I could? You know, like the Indiana Jones with the. Okay, that's enough of that.
Fucking hell.
Chaos.
Okay,
I have no pockets.
I
Put
wish.
it to your chest.
You know, I don't like to say this often, but I did say, did I not? I told you so.
Proud
Okay,
of you.
thank you. It's hard being the responsible, one of the 2 responsible friends here. I'm very
Maybe-
depressed
That's
to
can
know.
you blend on that.
I would like to cast a spell.
A spell.
Okay.
Um,
Hang on. First, before you cast a spell, is there anything you can steal? Roll a perception check for me, please. I'll give you advantage on it because I feel like, as someone who is a thief for a living, you probably are able to tell whether or not you can steal something.
The answer is
Oh, one of them
yes.
was a crit
He's
fail.
14
The other one
carats
was an 11, which makes 17. Wait, was it an 11? I think it was an 11.
There's an 11 and 1.
17, I'll say you can see that there is a slight bulge underneath the coat on the side that looks like a coin purse. That's what I'll say. You think you might be able to steal it. However, it is on his person and under the coat. So if you can find a way to steal it,
I'm very sneaky.
what spell would you like to cast?
I look intently.
My nose starts bleeding.
I like to
Do
imagine
you
that
have a nose?
Tim Curry's face is like part of my like proper form is like small Tim Curry.
Okay. Steph Curry.
And I would like to cast blindness and deafness. You can blind or deafen a foe, and I would like to blind him.
Okay, give me a second.
Find commoner stats quick.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Oh no.
Secret guard.
But it specifically, this spell doesn't alert them if it fails.
Oh,
Okay, give me a
that's
second.
helpful.
Yeah,
That's
that's
really
well. No,
good.
not specifically, but like other spells say it. The person knows that they were
Okay.
attacked.
No, they just hear you chanting in the
Okay.
corner.
No, but this one's only visual. That's why I mentioned
Jesus
my
Christ.
eyes.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, is that verbal?
V is verbal.
Ah.
Verbal
not
and
visual.
somatic, I imagine. The S means hand symbols.
You can just see them.
You just see the slime go. Just go blind.
Okay. You cast a spell. I have to make a con save, is that correct?
Of 14.
Okay, let's
Save.
see.
Does
What
this
I
old
roll.
man succeed the Constitution saving throw?
No. Okay, what happens as you cast the spell?
A terrible sickness comes over him, and he sort of gets a bit more frail than he once was, and a black fog begins to like swell up inside of his eyeballs, and what happens to him?
Well,
Blindness is what I chose, by the way.
but I'm
recoil?
I'm glad because as you watch this individual, you can hear people that are kind of yelling out, like, "Oh, pass me the rope, man," or like, "Get your own, asshole," and like kind of yelling at each other across the docks. And you notice that the man seems unfazed. He seems very blasé about everything. He's kind of minding his own business going along until he's struck suddenly by this dark energy that crosses across his pupils, and he kind of stumbles to the side. The cane falls, he trips and falls onto his feet, and you can see that there are people that are rushing towards him, all of them dressed into suits, as he's kind of scrabbling, and you hear no sound come out of his mouth, save for grunts and attempts at words.
Can I get there before everyone else? Because I've got a faster movement speed.
What's your movement speed?
40 foot.
Sure.
Oh my god, sir, are you alright? Yeah, let me help you. I'm like, kick
He
the
doesn't appear to notice that you're there.
I'm-
He's already deaf.
No, he's not deaf. It's blindness/deafness.
Oh, but he could have been deaf
he's
before you're
he
deaf.
is already deaf.
Oh,
He
I will
is
like.
a disabled older man.
Hey, we're bad people. I will like. I'll like grab him and like I'll like lift him up and I'll like try walk him away from his walking stick. I'll like walk him towards like a
He
nearby
is
bed.
incredibly light and frail, and you hear all of his bones kind of crack as
fine.
he stands up. And you hear him kind of cry out in pain. Seems to kind of be making symbols with his hands.
What?
He's in a gang.
I'll like give him my hand, I guess.
So he grasps at it and kind of grunts, looks up at you, just white-faced, where he thinks your face is, but it's really more
Yeah.
your
I'll like
chest.
start. I'll like walk him, like holding his hand and like help walk him to
Where are
like a
you
bench
taking-
away from his seat, like, just like to like a chair or something on the ship's deck.
Sure, you
Just away from
managed
the
to
stick.
lead him away. His cane is where?
Just not with him. I didn't.
He's
grab it.
leaning very heavily on you at
Yeah,
this
yeah.
point.
Oh, don't worry, I've got like a strength of 20. I'm like, yeah.
Tim Curry? That's fucking filthy.
Dies, we couldn't claim him.
You can see as he looks towards you, his pupils are just black. He looks
I like
terrified.
be calling doctor,
He-
doctor.
You watch as he clutches at his chest for a second.
Oh no.
He shall become out.
I hope you all feel good about yourselves.
I
you
don't
fucking
get
assholes.
her.
And you watch as he suddenly gasps of breath and is kind of like slouching against the actual chair. His left arm begins to kind of
I'll
drop.
start calling for a doctor.
No.
Oi, Oi, Milo.
Yeah,
You know a bit about medicine, yeah?
I do.
Oh, come check this guy out.
I love how no one's grabbed the fucking cane I left behind on purpose. It's no, we're gonna help the old man now. Because it's not a distraction or something.
Hey,
I've had a change of heart, Loki.
My quarry has changed.
I thought you were gonna play an evil character. I'm making you evil.
I am evil. You don't understand. It's all part of my big giga brain plan.
No, James is so evil that he's making sure wealth stays within inheritance. James is all about that cycle of evil.
And to like help and
We
stuff,
love
I'll like take off his like suit jacket and like unbutton that, and then like on like I'll take stuff up, exposing the coin pouch as well.
Sure, it's easily visible. He is kind of just blindly trusting you because he can't see and he can't hear.
Perfect. I'm like helping him, like taking off his suit jacket. I'm just like calling for a doctor. Does the doctor show up?
After about a minute or two, there's no current doctor or medic that's actually in the vicinity available to help you. You can see that there are people that are kind of rushing towards the actual main building that you can see has now completely reconfigured itself and is still kind of powered by these gears that kind of shift and click into place on the wall. You can see that eventually there appears to be a cluster of people that are kind of rushing towards you. One of them appears to be wearing a long overcoat, has what appears to be a monocle attached to one eye, carrying a bag. However, because this spell lasts a minute, the doctor doesn't arrive until minute 5, and you notice that the old man appears to be suffering a heart attack. And I will say that happens about 30 seconds in.
I don't know if I can CPR. I'm a robot. I'm just calling for it's like a doctor.
I'm gonna go search for the cane. Okay.
You
Search for the cane, and at the same time I'm
Sure,
calling
roll-
Milo over.
And I'll
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm used to it.
Boing.
I'm used to 21. I should be using
21, easy enough to spot. Everybody, given the chaos and the stress and concern that everybody has, you can see that an individual is kind of administering some medical help to the man whilst you loot his cane.
Excuse me. I'm just picking up the cane.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm returning it.
Are you returning it?
Well, time will tell. Only time will tell.
It's just a very long way back to the old man and a very
Sure.
roundabout.
I mean,
And can I guess it's probably too late to specify that I'm doing it stealthily.
okay, hang on. Nobody seems to notice. They're also shocked at the fact that this older gentleman is currently being blinded by some force that they're not sure about. Also cannot communicate effectively with them because he is unable to see and is therefore unable to read lips and is therefore unable to mimic the sounds he thinks he should be making either because he's stressed and also suffering a heart attack. So this man very quickly is unconscious. You watch as after attempting to administer medicinal help, one of the dock members eventually kind of steps back. The figure is the actual man is unconscious now, kind of slumped against the chair that he's resting on. Doesn't seem to be dead, you don't think, or at least you don't hear any proclamation of death. But does appear to be unconscious at the moment.
We better hope that wasn't Maurice.
We better
Don't
hope that
worry.
wasn't Maurice, man.
If he stays around, he shall be back soon.
What the fuck?
I'll like leave him with whoever's doing the
Yeah,
medical
welcome to
stuff.
D&D, Mark.
Don't worry, I'm a doctor.
I'll leave him with the whoever's administering the medicine and then walk back over.
Sure, you leave the coin purse or you take it.
Well, I don't think I managed to successfully get it off.
Did you roll a sleight
No.
of hand check?
I didn't bother. I'm
Would
not
you
gonna,
like to?
No,
Okay.
I'm not a pickpocket.
Okay. It
I
is
am-
visible now if you so choose to steal it.
I won't try.
I'm going for it.
I
What if
will.
we just ask the doctors?
For the coin pouch.
Just like,
May I have it? I use manners.
Do you go up and ask?
Reward me.
Are you going up and asking? Okay.
James Burb wants to try. I don't want to interrupt.
Go for it.
Alrighty. 15.
Oh, fuck.
You're attempting to steal it?
Yeah. With my fingies.
Oh shit, we should have given you we should have helped. No, you're doing great.
You watch as the dock member who is attempting to administer the medicine and attempting to help this older gentleman that has just really just hit a stroke of bad luck, just insanely. Is kind of slumped against there. He's kind of frantically trying to take the pulse and make sure that he's still alive. Has his hand kind of under to make sure he's still breathing. Is kind of positioning him to make sure that he's in a comfortable position, but one that doesn't block his airway. He's so focused on helping this older, frail man that he doesn't notice that with sticky fingers you very quickly reach out and snag the coin purse. It kind of the drawstrings kind of coming free with a tug, and only a slight disturbance of the actual coin itself that rattles in your hand. You look up, and the doctor appears to be turning towards you. You very quickly kind of tuck it just behind you, and the doctor looks at you and is kind of suspicious for a moment, and then turns back to his task. And you're successfully pickpocketed.
Disabled.
Next, steal the body.
You
Alright.
carry the body away.
Swift hands.
Jesus
The doctor
Christ.
turns, suspicious for a second. You hide the body behind you.
How much gold is in the pouch? Is there gold in the pouch, or is
there
it,
is
is there like
gold
a
in the
fake
pouch.
eye or something?
As you open it up, you notice that it's not actually gold; it's platinum, and it's it appears to be 52 platinum and only 2 pieces of gold. You can also see that there is an odd-shaped kind of trinket carved in what appears to be a bone of some sort, and it appears to be in the shape of a heart.
Could that be the bloodstone?
Burn
Do you
hard.
pull it out of the bag?
From my experience working with this crew, do I know if anyone has experience in the arcane? Does Blobby Tim
cast
Curry?
spell.
I
You also cast spell, but dash more.
I would say yes, you know they have a brief. They're not experts, but they do have a grasp on the arcane.
I was born in the darkness.
Oh god.
Wait, so this coin pouch, was this the old man's, the almost dead guy's
We've
pouch?
spent 30 minutes robbing an old man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
See, I'm kind of terrified. I think the right move is... Oh, Doc, he dropped this coin pouch when he fell.
it's up to you if that's what you
Gonna
say.
return it.
I'm not going to return it. I'm going to give it to someone else to return, because he's already suspicious of me.
Doc, what's this suspicious bone? Grab it out real quick.
Give it here.
Are you asking me in character?
Yes.
Alright, but the platinum is mine, yeah?
If we get it. You'll just fucking...
I reach in and I take out the platinum,
Yeah. You
dripping in
Is it
black.
still goopy?
Oh, it's very goopy.
just
Like
as it
some of it's-
detaches from
yeah, some
the
have,
hand,
like,
still
shape.
kind of stringy, dripping down onto your actual in between your hands there.
Is this still a part of you?
My hand hurts.
I don't know why you're surprised by this. Why am I
The
not
hand
like...
retreats
Appreciate
like
it.
directly back into my body.
I just... It was glitchy vocabulator. My robot just, you know, the accent changes.
Oh, no.
Well then, alright. Right.
I am curious.
I open the bag up.
Milo, take out the bone.
Oh no.
You just do it
You open up a bag.
Yeah.
with the bone in
Take
it.
out the bone.
With a heart
Is
engraved.
this that
on it.
amulet that
It's
That
well,
we're
it
scared of.
all you see is what appears to be a kind of smooth ivory, you think bone trinket. It's not attached to anything else. It's literally just a charm.
Can I grab the bag?
No, it's yours if you take it.
You're taking the bone
I'm
out of it.
taking the bone out of the bag.
Okay, as you take it out,
As I take it out,
you hesitantly reach in. You feel your fingertips brush the smooth, cold surface of this bone trinket, and you grasp it in your hand. Nothing happens. You pull it out, and down in your hand you have what appears to be almost a cartoon-shaped heart. You flip it over, and you can see that there are initials engraved into it. Just a CS and plus an RS.
Are you just trying to make us feel even worse about this?
I'll
I'm only giving you guys what I have written.
I will grab.
It's up to you whether or not you feel bad about it.
Can I grab the? Can I like ask for the bone heart?
Sure.
I feel like we should.
Sorry.
I wanted to ask. Is this what we're after?
What? We return to a wealthy investor.
We've got it.
I've just been watching this scene confused, like, we're here to steal the bloodstone.
I'll start ushering us off the ship, I guess, and I'll be like, I'll like ask for like, well, can I have the bone heart then?
Take the.
And then I just drop it off the dock.
You bastard.
That is a link to the crime.
I look down for 1 second, and then suddenly, okay, you reach your hand over the side, and you open your hand, and you can hear the shh as it falls, and then it's caught on the wind and jostled to the side and slingshot over to the other side. You watch as it falls further and further down, and then eventually it's lost to sight completely. It's only a small trinket. You assume it was almost like a worry stone of sorts, and you watch as it is cast aside and falls down, 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 and eventually is gone.
Excellent work.
We're no longer linked to the crime now. I'm just going to use this accent, so it's the only one I can do right now. We're going with this one.
Is that you?
It's going to be real confusing when you roleplay your characters meeting each other.
It will be very confusing. I'm going to do a bit more gravelly than Abelard, I think. Decided on this one.
Where are you from? Oh, same place as you.
I closed the bag.
It's an empty bag now.
Now
There's
it's got 2 gold in it.
sure you left 2 gold
Oh,
in there.
I already
yep.
added the gold. Okay.
I roll my way across. One arm holding the bag, but the ball just sort of rolling in the bag, and arm spinning with it.
He dropped this.
You watch as the doctor turns around and goes, "Oh God, fuck! What is that?"
Oh, that's not very nice. What, you a racist or something?
It's me.
I don't deserve it.
Don't worry, I've got this.
We've been playing for an hour.
It's me, your mother. It's
I'll just slap it, the bag out of Tim Curry's hand to the ground, and then I'll start ushering them. I'm sorry for the inconvenience with them. Come on, let us go.
I slap it out Tim Curry.
you know I was in Command and Conquer.
Fuck, it's so stupid.
I'll just start dragging the sentient jello off the ship.
I am the plague.
As you put your hands into the jello, you feel the weird kind of squishes down slightly and then sticks to your hands.
I just start holding, dragging.
Can I imagine, like, I've got my arms and legs out, but, like, you've stuck your hands into the back and I'm, like just lifting with your hands literally inside.
Yeah, no, that's what I do. I want to, like, grab, like, the torso, like, the armpit, and my hands just sunk and I'm, like, good enough and just start dragging.
Weirdly cold and soothing, almost, against your metal hands as you squeeze into Tim Curry.
Just start dragging off the ship.
You guys have left the ship completely. This is none of this is happening on the ship.
dock.
Oh, okay, cool. Then
You're
I'm not worrying. I'm just gonna start finding Maurice. I've dragged him from the situation a bit now.
Sure, roll
I'm the
it.
silent killer you won't forget.
As Tim Curry is being dragged away, you can hear the kind of weird voice kind of carrying on the wind slightly, as it kind of shifts and clings to different parts of your body. Roll an investigation check for me if you're actually looking for Maurice.
Yep. Investigation.
Could I use you as a perch and have advantage?
Sure.
Maurice, we're coming.
Ew.
I can't imagine. I imagine, what's that Ben 10 alien, like the slime one with like the disc? I'm imagining that, and like the mouth just being unhinged, munching with like gel. And
Damn.
Oh my god.
Oh, well done.
I think I've stolen Venom's
Nat 20 was it, sorry?
Yeah.
Maurice.
With a natural 20, you see that the only person who doesn't seem to be disturbed at all by the goings-on of the sudden blindness, the theft, the cluster of people, the doctor has now arrived and is tending to the slouched-over man, is the older gentleman that you'd seen before, carrying all of these metal containers kind of in between hands. He's not necessarily making a move to go and investigate. He's just standing there and looks horrified.
I would like to drape myself across Bob's shoulders.
Okay, you slither from
The poor feathers, they're just stuck in
Amadeo
like tar.
to the shoulders, almost like a shawl, like a stole, what is it, like a collar around
Like a
the
dead fox.
shoulders of Bob.
Is Tim Curry looking any smaller with all the residue that?
No, it
Th-
doesn't seem to lose
Tim-
matter.
Tim
It just
Curry
seems to leave matter places.
I never lose.
I assume that's a quote from one of the movies. That no, it's not. Okay.
I think that's just them being like that.
W's home.
I don't know what to tell you. I have never felt more tired in my life.
World of Warcraft.
For fuck's sake. Alright, can I head over to this old man with jars?
Sure. Oh god.
Oh no.
Disaster.
Good thing the microphones packs are holding everything together.
Okay, as you head over to this older gentleman, he kind of turns his head towards you and looks delighted upon seeing you. And then looks down at the cane that you still have in your hands.
I don't have the cane in my hand. Bob has the cane in their hand.
I said in your hands. I'm assuming you're all following.
I hope you're
I'm
not following.
I'm following.
So he looks at the cane in Borb's hands, frowns slightly, and then looks back at you. You guys are now approaching. You're probably about 5 feet away.
Quick, hide the cane. No, he's already seen it.
I'm gonna hide the cane.
But he's already seen it.
Okay.
He's not gonna.
Roll a sleight of hand check to hide it.
Well,
Expertise, baby.
I am an expert.
love
I've
this.
got very slight hands. 21.
21.
Sure, you think
Oh,
it's
plus
hidden now,
I think.
even though he's seen it. He knows you have it, but he doesn't know where it is now that you've hidden it.
Milo, you underestimate me. I got this shit, yeah?
Why? Hello there, my friend. I've gone back to fucking Southern help.
What's happening?
Roll with it.
I'm just going with it
We'll
now.
just run with it.
I'm
it's
running with
fine.
it. My vocab is broken. You know? Well then. Hello, friend.
Looks at you for a second. So you got my message, did you? Did you get my message?
The one that you wanted us to do something.
That's very vague. See, my name is Maurice. Obviously, I can't tell you my surname for legal reasons, of course. But I have a job for you. I'm assuming you are the people that I've contacted, given you're such an eclectic bunch.
Correct.
That'd be us.
I am the plague.
Lovely to meet you, Plague. I'm Maurice. Can't tell you my name for legal reasons, obviously.
What did you want us to steal?
I'm so glad you asked. See, I mentioned in my little note that I sent you all that I'm looking for the bloodstone. See, I don't have enough money to pay for it, but I like to connect like little knickknacks and things like this. So what I want you to do is steal it. I heard you're quite good at it.
If you don't have the money to buy the thing, how are
will
you going to pay us?
Well, because if he can just buy it, why wouldn't he just buy it? Why?
No, listen. I have a handsome reward for you all. But the only problem is that it's not exactly acquired by legal means. Given that I'm asking you to steal something, you might assume that I'm perhaps not the most above board individual. So I have, well, let's say, and looks down at this book that he suddenly kind of is a very frenetic individual, kind of randomly produces what appears to be a small leather-bound ledger, flicks to the last couple of pages, pauses for a second, flicks again. See, I can offer you 15,000 gold, but I can't tell you where I got it, and I can't tell you my surname for legal reasons, obviously.
That is acceptable.
15,000? Perfect, so we have a deal. Listen.
I would finally accept.
You have an objection? Is something about my proposition unsatisfactory to you?
15,500.
What difference does the 500 make?
About 500 difference.
How will we split that equally?
Well, I'm sorry, I have plenty of thieves that I can call on, so 15,000, and that's it.
We take 15,000.
Perfect, I'm so glad you agree. But listen, should you ever challenge me again, I will kill you. In the most painful, horrible way, even though you happen to be jelly.
Maurice, so much. I appreciate the cut of your jib. I want to kill him too.
It's so fascinating to meet so many colourful individuals. You see, this place is quite boring, and I like to spice things up however I can. So here's my proposition, and kind of beckons you over to a relatively secluded spot on the dock on the west side. It's kind of jammed in between two large stacks of crates and barrels that are kind of jammed together to make a little alcove. Some of them are overflowing with what appears to be countless gems. Some of them are rough, some of them are polished, but they kind of spill out over the top of this large crate. You can see there's a little ledger and some numbers kind of carved into the wood itself. Listen, I don't give a shit if you kill whoever is in charge of controlling the actual bloodstone. I really don't care. But I would like you to deliver me the bloodstone relatively subtly. So, should you need to kill the individual, not a big deal to me. But I do want some sort of decorum when it is delivered. I don't want to be chased by individuals. See, it's not really my style. I don't like to run. But there can be exceptions made as long as you bring me the bloodstone. But my preference is, like I said, keep it classy, keep it subtle. I would definitely prefer that. And kind of looks at you all. He doesn't seem to blink at all, ever. He's just kind of staring at you, beady eyes.
I stare back, just glowing orbs in my face.
He still stares. It looks
Yeah.
absolutely fascinated and thrilled. Just the expression does not seem
Yeah.
to change.
Except that little moment where you go kill you.
Yes.
Maurice, I have a favor.
Hey, you're in a position to ask me a favor now, are you?
I would
Do
like
go on.
the corpse of the man we killed. Is that something you can procure?
I do believe we have a misunderstanding here. See, I am not the one who is the purveyor of certain objects. I just collect them, and then I dispose of them if I need to. Am I going to collect a corpse? No.
Okay.
Roll a persuasion check.
To not get stabbed.
Yeah, there was a death threat, if any more.
It was actually a verbal death
It was
threat.
very clear.
Maurice made it tight with another one.
You watch as he looks at you for a moment, his head kind of cranes forward. I don't believe you've killed anyone in your life, but I have. And I could do it again. And it's so much fun. And kind of leans back and then looks at you all. So, do we have a deal?
In life, you have two choices. You can either be technically correct or alive.
looks at you.
I
I
choose to
really
be
think you
alive.
should talk less, otherwise you will really be a plague on the world. And kind of just stares at you. The smile is gone. It's disturbing how he looks now, just dead-faced.
I
We-
choose to be alive.
We take the deal.
We accept this
Accept
deal.
the deal.
Fabulous. Well, I can get you invites to the parade. Given that you're already here, I assumed that you would accept anyway. And then produces what appears to be these fine kind of golden gilded tickets. With this kind of looping script that appears as he passes them over to you, and you each take them. And you can see it just says the parade, and then 7 p.m. kind of eventually disappears as it's about a minute that it lasts on there as you're staring down at it. It kind of eventually fades away. You're left with what appears to be a blank rectangular golden ticket. So, my idea is that you might perhaps need some supplies. Do you have better clothes?
I'm wearing a full suit.
Wasn't necessarily looking at you in particular.
Excellent.
It's kind of looking at the blob. The kind of hood on the resident thief, Kenku.
I'd need my armor, probably.
Sure.
What are you in?
Chainmail.
Chainmail?
Was it? I can't remember.
Kind of stares at you for a moment. Oh, so you dress like that to most places then, do you? Do you own other clothes?
No.
Holy shit. Well, that will need to be solved, and I can do it. If you need a tailor, I know plenty. I can't promise they're all fantastic people, but they make fantastic clothes.
That sounds
to me.
fine.
Oh, so we don't care about, like, potential murderers, those sorts of things.
We just robbed an old man who was blind.
Oh, yes, I did see that. I'd wondered if it was you. I thought it was just him kind of kicking the bucket. But he does own a large portion of the city of Dimspear, so perhaps not a good idea to have killed him. But, well, what can I say? It's already done, isn't it? You're certain he's dead?
I don't think he's dead.
He doesn't have to be.
He doesn't have to be dead?
Yes.
You're into some freaky shit.
Born of the darkness.
You're everyone's worst nightmare, are you?
Marie's not convinced.
Maurice just looks at you for a second.
I am sorry, he is not house trained.
Yes, he seems very ill. What did you
Yes.
say?
Yes.
I tend to ignore you.
It's why does he look like that? Is it like some sort of disease? I've never seen a gooey individual.
I
before.
don't think his parents loved him enough as a child.
I don't have parents.
See, my
That
point.
explains a lot, actually.
I am born of your malcontent.
Kind of leans to the side. What did you say your name was?
Tim.
They call you
Curry.
Tim? Is that not like that's not your jail name? They just call you Tim?
Curry.
They call you Curry?
Tim Curry.
Like the food?
Like Tim Curry. Greatest American actor.
I'm afraid I don't know a Tim Curry, but I do know a rather sad, angsty individual right before me, whose parents apparently didn't love them.
I don't have parents. I was not born of your
That
ways.
sounds like what someone who doesn't want to be known as someone having parents would say.
My mom was a cool.
Oh, so you did have
I
a
was
mother.
born of malcontent.
How do you put up with these people all day?
I was
Honestly.
born of malcontent.
Kind of looks at you for a moment.
I grab him and start stroking his back. It's all right, buddy. You're doing great.
As you go to brush your hand down, it kind of...
You're doing very well today.
I'm the killer that they forget. I am the silence in the darkness.
What your parents did to you was wrong, and
I
you are
don't
all
have
right to feel this.
Say, have you ever heard of this thing called therapy? I hear it's quite lovely.
I kick him.
You kick-
shadow.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you kick Marie. I was like,
No.
you kick him?
Like the dust on the ground and the
No, it's clear.
The
I
dust
said
kind
it.
of sticks to your foot as you go to kick it forward. It just sticks to the dock below.
Frick.
This is really getting sad by the moment.
I was born in the plague.
You was
Yes.
born in the plague?
Of the plague.
Of the plague? Oh, I thought your name was the plague.
I would just
No,
start.
it's Tim Curry, and I don't have parents.
But I thought that was your prison name. So what is it?
Tim goes to the corner and sobs a little. And you can hear in the corner,
I was born of the plague. I don't have parents. I am the silent killer.
Do I happen to be an orphan? Is this like
It's not an orphan. I don't have parents. It's simple.
We just don't raise the issue if we
So-
find it sensitive.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, but orphans don't have parents, do they?
Orphans had parents. I no longer have parents. I never had parents because
So how were you born?
I was born of malcontent and darkness.
You keep telling yourself that, darling. Maurice looks at yours. So, Taylor, I have plenty, and pulls out a different ledger, this time in a darker, more worn leather. It's thicker. It has kind of cards jammed in between each of the pages. There's ink that's kind of running off the side. You can see it has a faint shimmer to it as well, an iridescent sheen, almost like magic has actually been applied to it. And you watch as he begins to flick through these pages, and they just seem never-ending. They keep going and keep going and keep going. And you can see each page has writing on it until he eventually gets to one section, and the book doesn't look as if it's as big as the pages he's passed through, but he opens it up, looks down at it. So what kind of tailor do you want? Do you want a prick? Or do you want someone that's lovely, but also secretly evil? Or just a tailor? I have those too, but they're so boring.
We one that specializes. I look at the two birds in the slime. Exotic creatures.
Oh yes, the goo monster.
How
Fabulous.
did we get that in a suit?
Kind of pauses for a second, thinks, looks down.
I make a lovely scarf.
No, you don't.
You make scarves? You knit them?
With my form, I knit scarves.
He lays on your neck.
Well,
like
I also knit scarves with my form, and they're called fingers. And kind of pauses for a second, looks at you.
I think mine is called abdomen, though it is unclear.
I lay across the Kenku's bulb's neck.
Please send help.
Doesn't that pull out your feathers? It's rather sticky.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Listen, I really have to go because I'm very busy doing things that are totally legal, but I still can't tell you. And yes, my name is Maurice, but I also can't give you my surname for legal reasons. Look, I will give you the weirdest tailor possible. However, they're actually out of town. So I don't know if you go there, if they'll still be in or not. I have not been in for... Kind of checks the date against the ledger. Probably about like 2 months or so. So, you know, last that I heard, they weren't there. But perhaps you can steal some shit if you decide to. Doesn't really bother me, either way. As long as you get the job done. Do you have any questions? I love questions. Kind of looks at you first. Questions?
Questions?
Your question can just be what the fuck, because that's what I'm thinking too.
No, I have a technical question about the bloodstone.
Mm-hmm. You're asking Maurice or you're asking me as a DM?
I'm asking Maurice
Mm-hmm.
what the bloodstone looks like.
Oh,
That's a great
That's a really helpful one.
excellent question. I'm so glad you asked. And pulls out what appears to be a small, another small ledger that's kind of tucked in between his shoulder blades. Pulls it out, and you can see that it is folded parchment inside this paper. Folded parchment inside this book. Pulls it out, and you can see what appears to be a small sphere that's kind of got jutting sides, various different points, almost like a star, but it's a little bit lumpier, if that makes sense. So it's not an exact form of a star. It has interlocking plates, so it almost looks as if there's like a current that kind of runs in between them. The plates don't exactly line up in some places, so you can see what appears to be this deep kind of orange gold color that kind of runs through the actual sphere itself. And it has like various little sigils on it. You see that there are some studs. It's got an interesting shape to it. It's relatively recognizable if you were to see it.
Excellent.
There's nothing to sphere but sphere itself.
Oh, excellent joke. I'm sure it's saving us a lot of time. Looks down at what you now see is like a really actually a very ornate pocket watch. It looks very expensive. Now that you're up close to Maurice, you notice that his clothes are artfully appearing to be a kind of run down and ragged, but everything seems a little bit too perfectly in place to be actually, affected by the passage of time with the holes and things and rips. We are wasting time, so silly jokes are really not the way to go.
Fucking love Maurice so much.
At the sight of Maurice's watch, my face lights up.
Oh, you want to steal it?
I didn't say that. I just
Oh,
appreciate a nice watch.
I know your type. Kind of looks at you for a second. See, I used to be a thief too. But, between you and me, I was better at it.
Alright
And
then.
looks down where you hid the cane. Make a diversion is great, but doing something without having to make a diversion is even better.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Kind of stares at you for a second, doesn't seem to move. Very wooden.
A bead of sweat rolls down my
Tim Curry kind of shifts on your shoulders as you tense them.
The little scarf wicks away the sweat bead.
God damn it, Tim. I've always had enough of you.
Tim.
It knows its own prison name. Lovely.
Not a prison name.
Have you been in prison?
No. Not for long.
That sounds like someone who would say who's been in prison.
I feel belittled.
Well, what can I say? It's not every day you meet someone as idiotic as you.
Born of the darkness.
Yes,
I'm sure you were, darling.
yes.
Do you have any questions? Any questions at all?
I am satisfied with the job. We just...
Excellent.
Mischief managed.
Kind of pauses for a second. Do you always do this? Do you always, ruin things when things are going well?
I'm just like nodding in the background.
Now this bloodstone, my accent's become Australian all of a sudden.
I mean, not better
I
a
thought
British
you-
criminal,
Don't bother
right?
with
I thought you were Cockney, innit?
In it.
In it.
In it.
Say in it before your sentence.
Well,
and get
that's
back in.
that's
Every
what,
single sentence.
that's what I'm trying to do. In it.
There we go.
Or like, oi lads.
Yeah, right, lads.
Fucking A.
Fucking
In it.
A.
This bloodstone in it is in an auction house or something.
Yes, it'll be on display most of the night, so you can steal it when it's on display if you like. I don't think that'd be the best idea, but you could do it. You could also, steal it once it's lowered down for safekeeping. The auction for the parade actually runs about 5 days in total, and the bloodstone, since it's the centerpiece, will be on display all the time. If you were to steal it, you would probably want to do it so that you weren't in the vicinity when they discover it's stolen. I'm just looking out for you and Tim Curry.
Is there a certain individual that owns this stone?
Oh, well, none that I've met before. I believe it was created by the House of Dimspear, and the chap that you, incapacitated is the one who transported it here, so perhaps he's the owner at the moment, but it's free to go to a good home, the way that I see it. If you can steal it, it's yours.
Any idea who would be the most likely to purchase it?
kind of thinks for a moment. You can see a vein kind of appearing in his temple as he
Ooh,
thinks, listen, I don't like to talk about prospective owners of things in the parade. However, I will say that, well, there are certain individuals that I believe might be in the running. There's Icor, he's, well, that's his stage name, I like to call it. Don't know his real name, I never really bothered. Kind of like Tim Curry. I believe he got it in prison, so not really fascinating for me. But yes, I believe he is probably the most likely candidate. He gets his money legitimately, though, fucking filthy bastard.
How easy would it be to beat him up?
Oh, pretty easy, relatively lithe, kind of skinny fellow.
Perfect.
Don't think he has any kind of spice or pizzazz to him, so you should be able to, you know.
So
Off
he
him
buys
relatively
it, and then I
quickly.
just throw him off the dock and take it.
Well, I think his security might have some issues with that, but you could try.
And I throw security off the dock.
If you want to, I guess, as long as they don't come after me, whatever you want to do is fine by me.
Well, you know what they say. It's raining men.
Is this some sort of saying from prison where you're from?
Yes,
I am not from prison.
we had a boy band.
Yes, I forgot you were
Someone
the boy band.
Yes, we
I'm a
sang
man.
about killing boys and men.
Was your name Boys Two Men? Based joke. Maurice's ledge.
Is that a Mark Wahlberg song?
Boys to Men.
Yeah. Or is it Will Smith? Song?
No,
Will Smith.
no.
Who's
to-
it by?
It Boys to Men.
Oh, that's the band.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a song. Sorry.
Real G's no. If anybody gets my Boys to Men joke. So, any more questions? I, of course, will be in attendance. So if you have any more questions, you know, when you're in the middle of trying to steal it, don't draw attention to me, but I will be there if you do have questions. So,
Noted. Try not to ask questions later, but if necessary.
yes, absolutely. I always love questions. As long as they're practical.
That is a good condition to set.
I certainly think so. Where did you say you all were from, by the way? I was just given your name by an acquaintance.
I'm not from around these parts here. I'm from the other side of town.
Like another continent, or from the different part of Loftus?
I
or
am
like-
from Wyladia.
Perfect, me too.
I am from the plague in the air and the unsettling of the trees and the I don't know, the bleeding of the
Oh,
earth.
so you don't even know where you're from now. Lovely.
His parents left him in a river.
I am not having
I
parents.
figured so. That's how one generally ends up an orphan, isn't it?
Yes.
I was born
Turn
of
to
the
a life of
plague.
crime, plague, you know.
Yes. Freak accidents.
Very interesting. Is
Anyway.
that how you turn into goo?
I was born of. I was goo at the beginning and then I became manifest.
Noted.
You
Anyway.
became manifest. Wow. Scary.
I have nothing to say in this situation that doesn't. I feel like we're not meshing.
Why are you
I
edgy
think
in the
you
road?
started on the wrong foot. I'm merely continuing the tone that you set.
I am born
See,
of the
people don't
darkness.
argue with me because I always win.
I'm born of the darkness.
Good for you!
I'll just pat him. I'll pat Tim Curry on the head.
I wish to leave.
It kind of clings to your palm a little bit with a...
Yes, we have to get you a suit. We should leave now.
Each pat you do lifts me slightly off the ground and then I slump back to the ground.
Ew. Okay.
We will have to get you a suit.
I am a scarf.
You know, I don't think they'll let you in if you don't have a suit.
Please, I just wish to leave this situation.
That is fine. Come on. Well, thank you for the advice. We will do
Fantastic,
our
you know where
best.
to reach me. Good luck with Tim Curry.
Yes, thank you.
I hope you return with the bloodstone.
Yes, we'll see you soon, hopefully. And remember, try not to bring any attention to me. It's generally the aim of the game, and points over to the gems, and then to what you see are large Hessian sacks just stacked high on top of one another. You can see they appear to be coin purses, and they're kind of all clumped together and pushed into the corner to try and hide them from immediate view. Your reward will be waiting, and anything else you so desire. And pleasure doing business with you, of course. So we'll see you soon. Gives you guys what looks to be a business card of the tailor. What would you guys like to do?
Let's get going.
Let's go. Let's
Head
go
to the
shopping.
tailor.
We're going shopping.
Are the
As you-
suits? Sorry.
As you walk away, you hear Maurice kind of laughing to himself and then saying, like an imitation of Tim Curry, "I was born from the darkness."
And can I
He
image?
gets it. He gets me.
Can I use my ability as a Kenku to perfectly mimic Tim Curry?
Sure. What do you say?
I'm born of the darkness. I am. Repeat this enough, people will understand.
Yes, you are not an orphan with daddy issues.
I don't have a father.
Noted.
My father is your malcontent.
Yep.
I am your father. No, you're not. Are you malcontent?
Well, not entirely, yeah. But there's a little bit of it.
You do not understand me.
I'm partially your father.
Nobody understands me. You don't get me.
Technically, you are partially my father in a roundabout way.
Why is our warlock edgier than our rogue? This feels wrong.
It's just how it happened.
All right.
I'm surprised we haven't had a I know what you are joke. The angst. I was born of darkness. All this shit.
I know what you are. I'm the plague.
Okay, you guys had to get your suits. Do you have any in particular that you're envisioning your character would wear?
I'm.
I'd love a blue and black.
Blue and black suit,
Blue and
sure.
black suit.
Any pattern or just like a?
Would you
regular-
incorporate your chainmail into like under the weave and stuff?
Ooh. Hmm.
Because you wouldn't be able to wear armor into the event, but you could fly if you weren't wearing armor.
Could you get
True.
chainmail so fine that it was like a fabric?
Yeah, mithril.
You could try, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
If that's what you'd like to do, you can have a look to see if the tailor has it.
So if I'm not wearing my armor,
You don't
do I
get.
still have it?
You
like-
have it in your inventory, but you cannot. You don't get the benefits of wearing it. So
Right.
your
Can I
AC will
switch
drop.
into it?
It will take 15 minutes because it's heavy. I think it's 15.
Hmm.
Which is a bit ridiculous. Chainmail doesn't take that long to put on.
Don't worry, you're not gonna need chainmail gives you a disadvantage on stealth. You'll be all clang, clang, clang. How are you gonna steal things when you're clanging around?
That's so
Clang,
true.
I will ditch my beloved chainmail.
Okay,
Mm.
the chainmail is off.
My way saying guess we get into a fight and the only person.
Or unless I go as acting as a guard for the event.
we have to go kidnap a security forces and steal their uniform.
Steal
No,
their name
yeah.
tag.
Ooh,
That's a good idea. It's an
you
interesting
could
idea.
try.
It's just more for plasmode on their face and suffocate them.
My other plan was to
You
resurrect
throw the
old man
staff.
and let him in, make him let us into the party.
We have invitations.
I know, but like, how cool would it have been?
It's your opinion.
Hmm?
Chainmail, armor or no armor?
I think posing as security is a
I reckon
pretty
it could
good
be.
idea.
So I'd have to
We have to steal a guard's uniform.
steal a guard's uniform.
Sure.
Which is doable. Can we find a lone guard?
Maybe this because
Where are you guys looking? You're looking on the actual.
Just on the streets.
Sure.
Patrolling
So,
guardsmen.
as you guys, I'm going to, just for the sake of things, say that it's relatively easy for you to. We're going to fast forward through your travel of mounting the actual airship again and then going back. It's very different on Loftus's actual streets themselves. Everything is pristine. There's not really any litter. There's countless signs. Everybody is dressed very dapperly. You can see the overcoats, the vests that people are wearing, bow ties everywhere. Everybody has a pocket watch. Some of them have like the paperboy hats. What are they called? Like baker's hats? Whatever. They're all kind of wearing them. There's some wearing bowler hats and everything. Some of them have, for show, canes. Some of them are just old and are using canes as you should use them. Hence our discussion before. The streets themselves, as you look up, you can see that there are thick cables that run across, and you can hear the kind of shuttling of the cable cars as they go past, trafficking people from one building to another, and kind of stretching across the gaps in between the large islands that have no docks but still have kind of buildings clustered, and the actual city streets themselves and the soaring brownstones. Everything is kind of automated here, so you can see that things like the fire hydrants are definitely present and are kind of, they're not necessarily similar to ours. They seem almost like they rise out of the ground and kind of shift back down and open and close. They're not active just yet, but they're kind of almost as if somebody walks past them there. They pop up ready to be used. It's relatively easy to find the tailor. It's kind of shoved into a busy shopping strip. It's got the gilded kind of swirling lettering that actually shimmers as you go past and disappears before it arrives again as you center on the store. Within the actual tailor itself, you can see that there are people that are scattered around. It's a relatively big building on the inside. The mannequins all seem to be wearing these same kind of silk and satin, very high quality suits. Would you guys like to enter?
Yes.
Sure. Relatively easy to do. You see that there is an older, kind of frail looking man who's kind of hunched over. He appears to be gnomish, though the actual counter itself is very high. It's almost like a regular human height. Though he appears to have his hands on the top and kind of smiles at you all, waves as you come in. Well, hey there, what can I get you?
Hello, we need
suits.
3 suits. We are going to the parade.
Well, that's great there, isn't it? Like, what kind of suits are you looking for?
One that fits birds, and one that fits slimes, and another one that fits birds.
Looks you over like oh yes, you're all very interesting people. So I suppose I can get you as much as I can. Kind of frowns for a second, turns back, and you see there is a large bookcase that kind of appears as he steps closer towards it. You can see that he's now on what appear to be stilts. Kind of heads towards this previously like wooden panelled wall that eventually opens up and kind of and there's countless leather-bound books. Pulls one out, kind of flips. Yeah, well, I think that's pretty easy to do. I can get that done for you. It'd probably take me about 2 days.
Okay.
Do we have 2 days?
When is the parade?
When is the parade?
What kind of parade? We have one, like, for school
The
season,
auction
if you
one.
Oh, the one that they're doing at the moment. It starts tonight, but it ends in like 5 days or something like that, I think.
I guess we have
We
that
have
time.
ample time.
I can scope it out tonight.
Look at you for a second. Say, how exactly did you find my business?
We were recommended by a friend. They
What
said
kind
you
of friend? My friend or your friend or something?
I don't know if you're friends with him or not. However, he said that you specialized in exotic tailoring, which seemed quite helpful for these 3.
Yes, well, I can't say I've ever got any books about doing goo people before, but it's certainly an interesting challenge. The bird's easy enough to do for sure, but I'm curious. You're interested in this parade, yeah? So you're not gonna be doing anything untoward in these suits, are you?
No, we were working to buy magical artifacts with money. See, look.
Money we
And then I'll point towards Bob. Show him the platinum pieces.
I'll pull out the pouch.
Well, that seems very premeditated, doesn't it? You just came prepared and everything. Perfect. Well, I'm not in a position to ask questions. If you're looking to buy suits, I can do that for you. Pretty easy enough. Do you have an idea of what you're looking for?
What do you guys want?
I am particularly interested in a suit that has blue and black pattern.
Not the most exciting colors, but I've definitely got plenty of shades of blue and plenty of shades of black.
You're gonna love this, yeah?
You're looking for all black, are you?
You read my bloody mind.
I should have expected it. Kind of individual like you, stalking around the streets and all that. Black suits you perfectly. And yourself?
Oh, I've already got one.
You're
I
not
read-
gonna change it. You just came into my establishment wearing someone else's suit. That's pretty fucked up.
This is just the clothes I have.
Well, alright then. Strange.
Maybe a red blazer would be nice. I'd
Oh,
be
so you're changing your
pizzazz.
tune. Perfect. Kind of points out, do you have an idea of what kind of blazer you'd like double-breasted, or like a pinstripe, or anything like that, or just red?
Get
Red.
the sleeveless one.
Sleeveless red.
We must blend in with the public.
Looks here. I don't have sleeveless red. We don't really do that here, but
How
then
can
I
I show
suppose I
off my
can.
buff arms?
Show off your guns.
I suppose I can rip the sleeves
Do
off.
you
if
have
there's-
ones with stretchy fabrics? I find I flex a lot as I start doing poses.
Yes, yes.
You want me to use some cheap, crappy polyester, or you want me to enchant it? 'Cause that's gonna cost you extra.
Polyester.
I don't know
Polyester
polyester, so that'll take me longer to source such shitty material.
Ah, the one that you can do soon then.
Time is of the essence.
How much do you want for it? Before I make up
Well,
my
that'll
mind.
depend. Are you paying all together or separately?
Probably together.
It's gonna be on me, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, Bob shout. Cheers, Bob.
Cheers, bud. Respect.
Alright, well, we haven't even touched the goo monster situation, so,
I think you'll find I've touched the goo monster plenty.
The goo monster touches you.
Please send help.
well, I don't really know what to say to that, so I'm just gonna move on over it. Listen,
This is
What
my
kind of-
first suit. Make it special. Please.
well, everything we create here is special in its own way, 'cause it's specific to the individual. I can't say I've ever done a goo monster before. I feel weird calling you a monster. Is there, like, a better term for you?
I am Tim Curry, born of the plague.
Call him Timothy.
Owned
Well, that's a silly name, isn't it? You want me to call you Tim?
Curry.
That's stupid.
I feel sad today.
Well, I don't really know what to do with that, so pleasure meeting you, Tim. What kind of suit you looking for?
I wish to be beautiful.
Well, everyone's beautiful on the inside. You just might have to look a little bit harder for you.
I pull open my insides.
There's nothing but plague.
That's disgusting. Please don't do that in my store when I have other people in here.
I would like an emerald green suit.
I don't really know that I want to do a suit for you now.
Why?
Alright,
Because
well,
you opened your gizzards in my fucking establishment.
I'm sure we can ignore what just happened and I'll slip a platinum piece.
Roll a persuasion check.
No. I wish to roll an intimidation check.
Okay, roll an intimidation check.
I am the plague. I was born of darkness, and I shall be respected as such.
Uh-oh.
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay,
It's
good.
13. Fine enough.
Is it?
It's mediocre.
Looks at you for a second. Yeah, you're just a little bit creepy, but if that's what you want to say, then sure, you're born of darkness and all that.
I was born of your malcontent.
Can we have an emerald
Well,
green
okay,
suit?
then, sure.
We will pay.
I'll tackle the hardest situation first, and then the rest will be relatively easy.
I
So-
think a dress might be good for them.
I would love a dress.
I think the concept of legs is foreign.
No, I can have legs.
My legs slowly ooze out of my body. I'd like to think they're fully human-sized, like a small blob, and they sort of like limply
Listen.
lay across the floor.
I'm trying to run a business here, so take your kinky shit elsewhere, okay?
Maybe a
I
dress.
can get you a dress, but you're gonna have to stop doing that shit.
Please don't do that inside again. You embarrass us when you do it.
All right, Tim. I think it's time you took a bit of a walk. We'll deal with the adults.
Well, just a second. I need to get the measurements for the dress. It's not really my specialty, but I can send out for someone.
Tim here doesn't exactly have measurements. Yeah, they're kind of fluid.
Anything will do. He can
I
mold.
am fluid in many ways.
Basically,
know
whatever
how-
you have will fit.
I don't really know how to take that. I feel like I've just been propositioned, and that's a bit uncomfortable for me.
The blob that's on the floor rises upwards as now the legs like come out from it. Like imagine like the legs were. Imagine it's like a clipping mask.
I don't
that
really
want to
help you anymore. So
Can
I
we just
think
buy a
it'll leave.
dress?
I literally just have legs. It's not that big of a deal. Please.
You watch as the people who are kind of clustered around the store. This is a busy store, and there's people who are kind of attending them and helping. They all kind of stare at Tim Curry as this creature kind of rises up and leaves this.
I just imagine a jelly bean with legs, like human legs, giant jelly bean.
I remember why I stay in the darkness.
You can hear what appears to be a child kind of crying in one of the aisles of the actual store. It's like, Mom, he looks scary.
I am Tim Curry.
Can I like lock eyes? But do you even have eyes?
Yes.
Yes, I lock eyes with you, and we're just like, we're here to get suits.
I'm trying to get a
Nothing.
suit currently. That's literally all I've tried to do. I just asked for an emerald green suit.
Just give him something green and we will buy it. It doesn't have to be tailored to their size.
Well, alright then, I guess I can see what I've got.
Thank you for your patience.
Today I learned a valuable lesson
Your legs are scary.
about being excluded.
Just the figure. This tailor kind of steps on his stilts. You can hear the kind of creaking. As they appear from behind the actual desk that he was originally posted up at, you can see that they actually appear to be metal and attached with springs. They almost kind of shaped in an L. They kind of bow one way and then are sharply angled the other, and they kind of waddle forward as he heads towards finding a mannequin and the measuring tape to kind of get you guys suits. Takes you about an hour and a half. Gets all of your measurements, gives you guys a mock-up look at the suits that he's going to give you. Did you want a dress or a suit?
A dress.
Sure, gets you a dress. Obviously you didn't have to be measured for that, so yours actually arrives to you first. It's incredibly nice material. It's crushed velvet, and it's got a deep emerald. Passes it over to you. I hope this will be satisfactory.
It is beautiful. I am beautiful.
Sure, everyone's beautiful in their own way and all that.
One eye drifts across.
I am.
That's nice. And kind of goes back to tailoring for you guys. Says it'll take 2 days. You guys are more than welcome to. We'll skip past this, and you guys can come back and pick up the suits.
Can I have in one of like the days that we've got, because I
Oh,
already
yours is
have.
only a blazer. Sorry, so yeah, yours would be probably same time.
Yeah. Can I
Um,
have a poke around at least, like not like just as if I was like shopping? Can I like have a look through what is it, the up at the parade?
Sure.
Just because like I have a suit and all that, so I can blend in fine.
Sure. As you're heading off by yourself to the parade.
Yeah, I won't do any up here or anything about it. It's just what's it like,
Okay.
so we're not going in blind.
No worries. So as you head to the island that the parade is actually held on, you can see. Actually, I'll get you to roll a perception check for me, please.
All of us?
Just
We're not there technically.
Amadio.
okay.
That's good. 20.
Dirty
Okay,
20.
Dirty.
with a 20, as you approach the building, it's kind of settled with its configuration. No longer seems to be shifting and being kind of restructured and expanded to fit different kind of different forms that it might need to take for the parade. It's definitely been settled now. There are guards at every corner of the building, and there is a set of 2 guards that patrols around each of the corners. Appears to kind of be scoping out the area. It's a relatively barren island, save for the actual building itself. There are, of course, the docks that are attached to it, and you can see that there are people that are kind of setting up what appears to be marquees and awnings with all these different colors of like bright pink and white stripes, and there's some that are yellow and blue and checks, and they're all kind of spread out. It looks very artfully arranged. There's kind of arches of flowers, and there's desks set up, tables set up for different refreshments and things like that are kind of clustered around the area. As you step in to the building itself, you're kind of waved through relatively easily. Most of the artifacts that are on display are not currently in their cases, so they have pedestals and things set up for them. You can see that there are some smaller trinkets that are actually levitating or revolving in spot as they kind of show all the different sides to everybody who walks around. It's a very clear kind of snaking pattern. Sometimes it actually turns into what appears to be a figure 8. It's all laid out as almost like a story of what is created first, and then goes on. There's each like little plaques and things written next to everything. There appear to be almost quadrants set up, so there's several different rooms within this larger room, each of which have several different exits in them that kind of join the snaking pattern. There are probably, I would say, 10 to 15 guards in the whole space. Most of them appear to be around doorways. Some of them are patrolling around. You can see there are very few people in here. There's probably about 20 that are just kind of walking around reading the signs and things, given that it actually isn't set up at the moment. Are you going at night or day?
Just during the day.
During the day, yeah.
I'll have a look at like where the bloodstone would be and stuff like that.
No worries. It's predictably set on top of a large marble pedestal. There's actually stairs that kind of flow up on either side. It's kind of set into a hexagon pedestal. You can get up relatively close to it. However, as soon as you reach it, you see that there's a barrier. It's got that same iridescent sheen that appears to be on most of the magic in Loftus. You can see that there are... Actually, roll an investigation check for me, please.
8.
8. You don't think that the barrier is its only defense. You think that there might be something else, but you're not exactly sure what it is. You're so distracted by this platform that kind of rises out of the ground and kind of sets itself up in the middle of this marble pedestal and contains the actual bloodstone itself. you believe that it's lowered when the parade finishes for the day, and raised again when it.
So there's like a cavern or something underneath.
You assume so. There's something hollow that holds the bloodstone, or
So-
at least the platform is lowered down into. You're not too sure if it's taken out of that or if it's just.
Is it like a cave? Like, so I don't know if it's a cave system. Can I do like a history check or something to see if there's any cave
Sure,
systems
roll a
on
history
the
check for
island
me,
or
please.
anything?
I can't open my drink bottle. I'm turning weak. No, it's okay. I got it. It was just wet.
13.
13?
Yeah.
I will say with a 13, you know that there's not a cave system, but there are tunnels and channels that are used to maintain the magic on this island that levitate it above the city. So it is. So you're replenishing its enchantment using these tunnels that kind of move from point A to B. And for the parade, they're mostly being used at the moment to ferry goods from the ships through these tunnels.
Cool.
Okay. So, I will say, at this point, you guys go and pick up your tailored suits, your dress, and as we return, I think we'll go to a break now. As we return, you guys will be infiltrating the parade, attempting to steal the bloodstone, which you know now to be auctioned at some point. I'd say you're kind of approaching the 4th day of when the parade will run for. So when we return, you guys will be attempting to steal the bloodstone itself. So we will catch you guys in just a little bit. Bear with us. We're going to go on a quick break, and when we return, the heist begins. Catch you in a sec.
Boy.
Epic.
Are you enjoying it so far, Mark?